Good morning. Our Saturday story this morning is Wind Flyers by Angela Johnson, illustrated by Lauren Long. My great uncle was a wind flyer, a smooth wind flyer, a Tuskegee wind flyer. His whole life, all he ever wanted to do was to fly. With his arms flapping, he jumped off a chicken coop when he was only 5. Then he jumped off a barn into soft hay when he was 7. Uncle says it's 'cause he watched some birds fly that day. When he was 11, he paid 75 cents to go up with a flying barnstormer. It's what heaven must be, Uncle says to me, with clouds like soft blankets saying, "Come on in, get warm, stay a while, and be a wind flyer too." They flew over fields, over the lakes, and Uncle just knew that if he could get a good grip, those clouds would be his. He cried when they landed, because then he knew what it was like to go into the wind, against the wind, beyond the wind. There was magic in the wind back then, he says. When he was older, Uncle became a Tuskegee Airman with the 332nd. He studied hard and flew in a war. Air Force didn't want us at first. Only 4 squadrons like us, he says, touching his mahogany face. And when his plane left the red Alabama dirt and flew up in the air, he hoped he would never come down. He had finally become a wind flyer, a smooth wind flyer, a Tuskegee wind flyer, flying high above it all, never to touch the earth again, forever a wind flyer. When I ask him if it was a big war, Uncle says, "They all are, but that's over now." But we were something. Some of us didn't come back, but we never lost a plane we protected. Then Uncle points at a picture of him and the wind flyers, those smooth wind flyers, those Tuskegee wind flyers, young and brave, brave and young, all. Uncle crop dusted some right after the war. That's the only way he could still fly, the only way he could still catch the clouds and feel the wind. He says flying's different now. Faster planes, more people than ever. But Uncle says the clouds still sound the same. He holds my hand, and we watch new wind flyers jet through the clouds. Then once in a while, he takes me up, and we become smooth wind flyers, Tuskegee wind flyers, flying into the wind, against the wind, beyond the wind, the magical wind. Now, this is a story that a little boy tells about his great uncle, but there really were Tuskegee wind flyers, so I wanted to tell you just a little bit about them. In January of 1941, under pressure from the NAACP and other groups, the U.S. Army Air Force created the all-black 99th Pursuit Squadron. The 332nd Fighter Group had been formed in 1942, making it the only four-squadron fighter group in the Army Air Force. These pilots were trained on an airfield in Tuskegee, Alabama, and thus called the Tuskegee Airmen, although the Army had no intention of ever using them in battle. Under pressure from the Roosevelt administration, the 99th was finally posted in North Africa in 1943. The segregated squadron eventually turned out 600 pilots and 145,000 support personnel, and they earned numerous distinguished flying awards and unit citations. The 332nd distinguished themselves as the only escort group that never lost a single bomber to enemy fire. I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday. It's really cold, so maybe find some warm things to do and keep yourself warm and inside today. I hope to see you all tomorrow. We have our online worship service, and after the worship service from 11 to 12, families can come and pick up a Lenten packet that will be at the church. I will be in the vestibule coming out for drive-by from 11 to 12 tomorrow. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.